You want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money! Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reg.A Money Show. This is Ron Costa in the Reg.A Money Studios in Las Vegas with Miguel Dotris. Miguel, how you doing today?
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year to our listeners. My God, does 2018 just have such a sweet ring to it, Ron? Reg.A Money Show is blowing up all over the place. This is the year that Reg.A Money takes over the entire world. We're going to syndicate. We're going to go out. Reg.A's Plus is coming out of everywhere. And we're talking about huge news, Ron. And guess what? We're starting the year, my friend, with a friend of the show, a great friend of the show, a guy who has been doing this almost as long as we have been doing this, who's going to be joining us on the second segment. And Ron, it is just great to ring in the new year and have the first show of the new year with you, my friend. Thank you.
Oh, thank you as well. Boy, I'll tell you, Miguel, 2017 went by so fast, and we started this on a shoestring. We started this from nothing, and in 2017, we got syndicated by the likes of iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Amazon Alexa, all these devices. You know what? I just said Amazon Alexa, and my Alexa just picked up. But anyway, isn't that crazy? But
no,
I mean,
it's not. You know what, Ron? You know what? It's not crazy, my friend. It's not crazy at all. You know why? Because we're bringing information that people want to know about, Ron. This is not only has this changed the way that companies have access to capital markets. It's not crazy because you know what we've been doing? We have been holding up this flag for Reg.A Plus for over 18 months. Over how many shows, Ron, have we put in the can, that we've put up online, that we've been able to bring on guests and industry professionals? It's not crazy. This is bound to happen because you know what? This Reg.A, it's not stopping. You know, our guest that's going to come on the show is going to share some things. There are 8 companies that have made it now to a national trade platform, okay, NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, right? 8. 2018, my friend, my prediction, this is what our show is all about today. You guys are listening to the Reg.A Money Show with me, Miguel Dotris, and Ron Costa, and today's show is all about predictions for 2018. And what we're predicting, Ron, I think for 2018 is you're going to see a real jump of companies that are going all the way to NASDAQ with the Reg.A Plus. You're going to see probably 20, 25 companies. And you're going to see huge companies, my friend, big-time companies that are brand name, you know, that are backed by celebrities, that, you know, big time that institutional investors are going to jump into, that Main Street investors are going to jump to. 2018 is going to be a big, big year for all of us.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you want to check out one of the articles that we just put up on IPO2go.com on the news section. We list some of these 2018 predictions for you to read right away. But as you mentioned, we have a monster guest coming up who's really going to go into some really, really interesting details, I'm sure. But in the meantime, Miguel, people are still asking questions. We got that mailbag going on. People are going to the website, submitting questions. You want to take one of them that we just received?
Let's do it. I love the mailbag segment. You know, the mailbag segment, it means a lot to me, Ron, because, you know, we listen, guys, we do this because of you guys out there that are listening to this podcast. I want you guys to know that Ron and I truly, truly appreciate the few minutes that you guys spend with us because we really know that we're bringing something to you that you're looking forward to, and we appreciate that. That's why we have that mailbag segment, Ron, because, you know, we want to hear from our listeners. So who do we got? Who's on the line?
Okay,
let's do this thing.
All right, the question we've got right now is from Ben E. from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. That's Ben. His last name starts with an E. It's not Benny. It's Ben E. And his question is, I'm going to read this word for word for you, Miguel. I was listening to your show on the archive where you mentioned the term hybrid in terms of where the Reg.A market was heading. Can you go into a bit more details on that and explain what a hybrid Reg.A is in detail? Thanks for taking my question. All right, Miguel, what do you say to Ben?
All right, Ben. This is what we're going to do here. Let me break this down, and let's break down what hybrid actually means, and then we're going to get a couple of views on this, okay? Because our guest is probably going to talk to you about this. The hybrid offering that we're talking about is a mixture, okay? When a regular offering goes out, say, let's just talk about a regular IPO. A regular IPO has a bank or an underwriter who is actually underwriting the deal, right? That guy is underwriting the entire deal, that bank, okay? And so what that bank is bringing to the table is very simple. They have their investors. They have their institutional, they have their syndication. Now, there's also what is crowdfunding, what is brought to Reg.A, which is this whole thing that we've been talking about is this crowdfunding, all this stuff. So crowd, Main Street investors, what Ron and I always refer to as Main Street investors. And then you have family offices, you have institutional investors. So all of these people are participating. Now, what we've seen in 2017, Benny, is only Main Street investors and market makers or broker dealers have been underwriting these deals. And what ends up happening is that the deal is comprised of a broker dealer and a syndication of broker dealers that are going out and marketing the security of the IPO of the Reg.A. And what ends up happening is that, you get a lot of people that want to, come in low and then sell high. And then you got some people that are what we call Main Street investors, which are the guys who are doing, buying the company stock because they really believe in the project, because they believe in what the company is doing, or because they've followed the brand for a few years, or they like the technology that's behind the company. Now, hybrid. A hybrid would be you get a mix, Benny. You get a mix of broker-dealer, institution, and Main Street guys. What is that perfect hybrid? Dude, I couldn't tell you what that is because you know what? What we're seeing lately is like a 75-80. A 75-80 broker-dealer, 25 Main Street investors. What I think personally is going to be something that is going to be a mix. You're going to see 30% institutional investors. Now, these institutional investors are big banks that have been sitting on the sideline, that have been kind of watching this thing and saying, I wonder where this is really going to go. Is it something that we can bring in? Is it something that we can bring into our portfolio, right? Can we get a good return on our investment? They've been watching this thing. And what you're going to want to do for that hybrid offering is you're going to want a little bit of institution, a little bit of broker-dealer, and a lot of marketing Main Street guys. So I would say the perfect mix, the hybrid mix is going to be 20, 20, 60, or maybe even 30, 20, 50. You know what I mean? But the majority of that has to still come from that crowd. It still has to come from Main Street investors because those are the guys who are driving these deals home. This is what we call the sticky money. These guys are there for the long term. They're not going to pull their money. They're not going to pull their money immediately. They're not looking to get in low and get out high. The traditional Main Street investor who is buying up. Who's going to want to make a profit within the few days. We want to have more opportunity for the Main Street investor to make some return on that investment. And so the hybrid offering that we talk about is a mix of the different types of investors where you have institutional, broker-dealers, and Main Street guys all participating in your Reg.A. Benny, thank you so much for your question. You guys, if you have a question like Benny, Ron and I take all questions that come to the table. We can't get to every single question on the show because what we do is we kind of pick out the best one. But you guys have questions, bring them on, and then we'll try to get back to you. You want to contact us. We've had a lot of people contacting us with questions about maybe possibly doing the Reg.A. You can bring all those questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Some of them can be answered on air. Some of them can't. But but we'll get to all of them. Benny, we do appreciate you listening, and hopefully I answered your question. Because you know what, Ron, here on the Reg.A Money Show, man, we got a great guest coming on in the next segment, which I think is going to be great. I think that everybody, you should stick around. Go get your favorite beverage. Maybe go get a beer. Maybe make yourself your little cocktail. Hey, if you're at the office, maybe pour yourself another cup of coffee, because the guest that we have coming on this show is a friend of the show and has a lot of great information from you guys. So you guys have to stick around and make sure that you tune in to the second half of the Reg.A Money Show with me, Miguel Dotres, and Ron Costa, because we're bringing you some great information.
All right, Miguel, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.